I hope that's the right link. Anyway, so let me go back over. I think it's been like a year since I've done one of these, and I'm really sorry for being such a bad, what is it? What do you even call me? Content creator connecting with their community. But I think I want to, like, I still don't even know what my demographic of people who watch me is. I don't even know, like, is it, I mean, I'm sure YouTube analytics could help out. But I don't know what you guys are excited about content wise. And I want to do things that I am interested in and that you are interested in watching and consuming, along with me doing the outputting. What am I even saying? I also just want to get to know you guys better. Like, I want to have a little bit more of a community feel. And I haven't really been cultivating the community of those who subscribe to my channel. And I want to do that a little bit more. So, you guys, how long has it been? It's been like a few minutes and I already feel like a flipping hot mess. Okay. So it is Good Friday. Hello, let's see. A couple people have been leaving some comments. Hi, friends. Hi, Emmett Beach. Hi, Kevin. Hi, YT Laser. Hi, Shane. Hi, Emmett again. I have the demographic of no demographic. That's super helpful. And yes, Shane, I'm actually live streaming. I decided to do the work in the trenches. Is that what we call it? It's like, I thought it was so much harder to live stream, you guys. Like, I don't know. I think the last time I live streamed, it went really bad because my husband was downloading The Witcher, unbeknownst to me, and it was making everything slow. And yeah, everything was like falling apart and difficult. So I just was like, this is difficult. I don't want to do this again for a while. And then like in a year, it's this. Anywho, so yeah, I love that people are just like chatting in the comments. Hi, Oraz. Hello, nice to see you. And Emmett is saying the demographic of non-ideological, non-partisan. Yeah, that's us. We're open to both sides. But then that leads to both sidism, which I don't want. But I do want to be able to look at different perspectives. That's actually one of the things about my YouTube channel that I'm trying to be intentional about. Looking at a few different perspectives, because depending on your ideological bent, you could look at my YouTube channel and you can think that I'm a little bit like on the woke-ish side because of the people who I speak with and give a platform to. But then you could also look on, if you're on another perspective, you might think I'm on the like IDW type side, or even a little on the more conservative side, depending on which videos you're looking at. So I try to talk with people who I just think are interesting people, and they happen to have a perspective that might be left or right. And sometimes I seek out specifically like different sides because I like to hear different sides. But I don't like politics though. That's the thing, you guys. I really don't. I find it really lame and boring. And that's why I've been looking a little bit more into meaning on my channel. And I've been looking a little bit more into what I'm going through personally as a like in my internal like sort of trying to figure out my own identity in the midst of COVID. And I did do those little bits of life in the time of COVID things. Oh no, I left my water upstairs. Dang it. Oh well. But so now I'm since the life in the time of COVID stuff from last year, I've sort of been asking myself, like, not even asking, like I've just sort of been embodying things a little bit more. Like I joined the Discord group Bridges of Meaning last year, but I've been really active on it lately, and that's another reason why I haven't been as attentive as I should be, because I've just been chatting with people there. But I've been I joined a knitting club there, and I think I talked about this in one of my videos. So I've been, a lot of my earlier videos I was talking about the feminine and trying to understand the feminine, and now I've just been sort of embodying the feminine with like my knitting. I actually brought my knitting because I wanted to maybe knit while I did the live stream. I redid it, you guys. Like, I knit a whole thing, and it looked bad. Like it looked okay-ish in parts, but then there were some parts that were really bad. So I unraveled it. I made this little ball. It's so cute. And now I'm redoing it properly. And anyway, so maybe, I don't know, I feel like if I'm not making eye contact with the camera though, that I'm not being as personable. So you can tell me if I should maybe not do this. But okay, let me look at the comments just to see, because what am I even talking about, you guys? Okay. Let's see. So Emmett says that I definitely have a point of view, sort of Christian social conservative, but very open to others. And it's so funny because I don't really see myself as very conservative, because I could easily fall into that because I grew up in that, but I am extra careful to not just follow the line of conservatism because it's just so easy. And so I really push back on it. And that's, I interview a lot of people who are what you could call like woke-ish, like ish. They're not intensely woke, but who, like, I just interviewed a friend of mine, Rebecca. And okay, you guys, I did change the name of the title because since I just interviewed Benjamin Boyce, I was thinking maybe some people from his channel might come and have a look. And I didn't want to scare people away because the title was in defense of Ibram Kendi. And I changed it to On Kendi with Rebecca Christensen. I changed it because I didn't want people just judging me based on the video before. And so maybe I just, shouldn't have done that and should have been like, this is me. Who cares? But anyway, I did change that one bit just so that people would give me a chance and not just judge me at the first glance. But regardless, I want to give the left perspective that I think is reasonable. And I think that there are some things in conservatism that you miss. And so I don't want to miss things. I sort of have a fear of going full ideologically possessed by one side. I don't think I'm doing it, but I have a fear that I'm just going to be like, yeah, that's right. This is the thing. And I'm going to just go for it and not look back. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to be on the side of what's right and what's true. So that means looking at things from many different perspectives. And I do have a new perspective of a lot of things are gray in life. Rarely are things black and white. So you have to look into like both sides to find what is like being missed by both sides. There you go. That's my wisdom for the live stream. Sometimes I say something, like I've been interviewed, a couple of different times on different podcasts, and I kind of do that where I'm like, there's a little bit of some wise things that I just said, and then I've watched it back later, and then it's like, that wasn't really like that wise. Like you just said some things, and it just seemed in your mind like it was really wise. So I kind of need to like hold back on the like, oh, that was so good, and because maybe it was just like good for a minute in my head. I have no idea. I'm like the first to say, all I know is that I know nothing. Like that's my phrase. It's at the top of my Twitter. My Twitter is my pinned tweet, along with the Calvin and Hobbes comic. So anyway, are you guys like, is anyone writing anything? Because it just looks like it stopped. Like everyone's, oh, there we go. So yeah. Okay, so Emmett's talking about like being open to different views. Yeah. I think that I don't like, I'm at a space in my life where I just don't really like arguing. I don't like it. It makes, like, maybe it's good in some contexts, but that's why I like to say, hey, what do you think about this? And, hey, what do you think about this? Okay, I'll take both of those views and decide the bits that I think have value later. I'll sort that out later. But I just like having people be able to chat about what they think and why and where they came from and what led them to that conclusion. And that's a bit of a story. Like that's I think what it is. I'm really, really enjoying narrative. And if I can get someone's narrative as to why did they come to the view that they've come to, like, and usually it's not just because I think these axioms are worth like standing on. It's like, well, I started off having this perspective, being raised in this type of a home, and blah blah blah. I like to hear the reasons why people come to believe the things they believe in, and sometimes I think that's helpful if you know the background. Like, okay, a friend of mine, she puts out Christmas stuff in October, and I remember thinking that was really weird. And I remember her saying that the only time she really felt like things were really good in her home, not really good, but like good with regards to the relationship with her dad, was at Christmas time. So it's like, oh, that kind of makes sense that you want to have Christmas start off as soon as possible because that was like a safe time. So context really helps us to understand why people end up where they are. And so that's something that I just really think is important. But yeah, anywho, so I do that sometimes, like where I'm like, let's get both sides of an issue. But again, I'm not a fan of politics, you guys. So that's why I like to find out what's meaningful to people instead of like what their political beliefs are. Because ugh. Anyway, does anyone have any questions? Like, is there any direction you guys want this to go? So, I mean, I called this my Easter live stream. It's not Easter. It's Good Friday. But I didn't want it to be like Andrea with the bangs Good Friday live stream because it almost sounds like that this is my service. Like this is a service I'm holding. Good luck. It's the Good Friday live stream, everyone. Thank you for attending. Like it felt like that. So it's more like it's a special occasion. It's a holiday. Let's live stream and try to reconnect. I think like the last live stream I did was not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before. So it's been over a year. Yeah, no, you're right, Shane. I think that people argue to get a balanced picture, but I prefer to get a balanced picture through a discussion rather than an argument. Some people are better at arguing than others, and I also used to argue a lot when I thought I was right when I was younger. Like by argue I mean like more in the sort of morality scape or the religious scape. Like I used to be like, "Oh, I have all the answers and I know I'm right." And like my Christian perspective is definitely correct and everyone else is wrong, and so I will happily argue. And I just like don't think that's the space I'm in anymore. I still am orienting myself towards what I think is the like the truth, and that is, you know, God and faith for me. But I just don't have that sort of youthful zeal of like I'm right. I just I don't like that. I'm talking about a lot about things I don't like. Like I don't like politics. And like I don't like arguing for like being like I'm right. But I'm also, I think I might like put this on my Discord group to see if anyone else wants to come over here from there. Anyway, so how yeah, it is Easter weekend though, and I mean, does anyone have any like Easter type plans? I want to make a pie, and I was gonna maybe do that today, but I didn't. So I think I'm gonna. I can't do two things at once, you guys. I'm trying to like write things and be on the live stream, and I'm just anyway. I'm doing a live stream. Can you hear my typing? Anywho. Wants to join. Anyway. Anywho. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna see if anyone wrote anything about, you know, their Easter plans. So no, nothing. Okay, come on guys, tell me what are you doing? What are you doing for Easter? Okay, so do I read a lot? I wish I read more. Okay, so Emmett says, do you read a lot? Fiction, nonfiction? It would be interesting to hear you interview writers and artists. Maybe Rebecca could come. I have interviewed Rebecca before about her work, like as a young adult writer. We've talked about the feminine in story and stuff. Because that's again when I was more talking about the feminine before I was really embodying it. But I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean I could. I just interviewed her, so I'll probably wait a little bit of time. But what? When are you gonna follow me on? Oh, Nolan, I don't follow you. Shoot, sorry, man. I'll totally follow you. I usually try to follow people who I know from the Discord. Sorry, man. I'll make sure to follow you back. Oh, you guys, like I don't follow people back. I just get followers. What a cow. Okay. So I'm gonna go back and to Emmett's question. So I read right now. I only read what I have in I only read what I am doing in my book club. And right now that is nonfiction, and we're reading The Discarded Image by C.S. Lewis. And that is about the medieval worldview. There's a lot of misconceptions about the medieval worldview, and so it's just sort of explaining like exactly how they see the world, how they saw the world in a way that, yeah, it's just exactly like how they went about life and how they perceived things. And like they were not flat earthers. They did not think that the earth was flat. They believed it was a globe. So that's a common misconception about the medieval folk. So that one is a nonfiction. But I when it comes to like, oh, what do I enjoy reading the most? I do really enjoy like a good fantasy series that I'm like, I love this so much, and I can't put it down. And I love, like, Lord of the Rings is my favorite, um, just like book series ever, and I can really get drawn into fantasy series. So I quite like not I quite like fiction. Like, nonfiction is, like, of course, very interesting, but if I'm just going to be reading on my own for funsies, usually it's fiction, and at that it's usually like fantasy. Some of the things, it's funny, some of the stuff, like, people say like, "Oh, you're such a feminine gal. You're one of the most feminine people I know." But I'm a lot of my interests, like, I love the Marvel universe. Like, I love that universe. I love fantasy. I'm one of the few gals on my Discord group, because I'm actually, I mean, any Discord group really. Like, so I do have, I'm the minority gal in a lot of spaces that I'm in. Um but I like to curl my hair and put on red lipstick. Oh, and wear hats. Wear fancy hats, Easter hats. So, oh, hi, Joey. What are you talking about, Twitter? I think I follow you on Twitter. Sorry, Nolan. Okay, feel bad about that. I guess I'll go do it right now before I forget. Okay, fine. If I don't follow anyone and you're here, that means, like, thanks for supporting me. So I'll follow you. Just tell me. Just tell me and I'll follow you back. Okay, friggin' Nolan, where are you? Bold move, Nolan. Bold move. Nolan, I don't know where you are. Frick. Okay, you know, this is just too much. I can't multitask, you guys. I'll find you later, Nolan. Sometimes I'm very aware that I'm just talking to a camera in my office by myself. But then there are all of you out there. So. All 8 of you. So, like, you know, I don't, you guys, like, that's the thing. I was talking about this with someone else about how, you know, you want to be successful. What does success look like? Well, in the world, it looks like lots of subscribers, lots of followers, lots of, like, worldly numbers. And you want to know you're resonating with people. But I mean, you've really, in the end, you know, you've got to be doing things that resonate with you, and that build up yourself and your character to be better and to refine yourself. And so, like, I would like to be, like, successful in the sense of, like, oh yeah, people like what I'm doing, so they're subscribing and I'm seeing, you know, growth there. But then I also don't want to be like, oh, I only care about numbers. Like, I'm like, oh no, it like went up to 9, yay. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, like, this is, I need way more people chatting back and forth in my live stream and tuning in to feel like I'm doing a good job. Like, it's nice having a small group. I do appreciate that. Oh, Tater Tots? I don't know you, but hello. Wait. Okay, we're just going on about my, like, whole thing about how, like, oh, following me on Twitter, blah blah blah. I'm just send me a note and I'll follow you back. Oh no, I closed my DMs though. Ugh. Life, you guys, it's so difficult. Anyway, yeah, I want to be cultivating a space where I am talking with people who make me better for talking with them, or who help me to learn things that I didn't know before. And to do that, often it helps to have, like, a serious YouTube channel and getting larger names. They will take you seriously if you have, like, larger following. And but if not, like, I've been able to get some people randomly that are pretty big names because I'm on Twitter and because I'm, like, a pleasant gal on Twitter, and so that's cool. But yeah, I've sort of been struggling with the balance of like, oh, I don't want to only be like caring about numbers, but I also want to be resonating with people. And that's another thing about why I want to do more more live streams, to get to know you guys better, to get to know like what kind of content you're interested in, and just chat with you back and forth here more. And I guess if you support me on my YouTube channel, follow you back on Twitter. Oh, okay. Let's see. Okay, so no one's talking about their Easter plans. You guys, does anyone celebrate Easter anymore? Like I said, I'm gonna make a pie. That feels like it's a serious like celebration pastry. So it takes work to make a pie. So, oh no, my knitting. Oh, you guys, dang it. Okay, no, I saved it. I saved it. Anyway, yeah, I find like as I've been knitting, I'm getting faster at it and I'm feeling more confident in it. And it just is like really cathartic, just doing some repetitive work. And I feel like I'm getting in touch with my like feminine textile roots. Has anyone picked up anything new in the pandemic, like learning something like for me, I'm learning to knit. I think I want to get a sewing machine and learn how to sew because I'm really into this whole vintage fashion thing, and a lot of vintage clothes are really expensive. So you can sort of, compromise by finding vintage patterns and making your own. And I always thought that sewing would be too difficult. I don't know, my mom was a seamstress and she was always very exact, and she's passed away. And so that's also part of like, oh, how can I do this without her because she's gone? And so I, didn't learn back when I could have. And I guess I missed that boat. But the ladies on this Discord group, the Bridges of Meaning Discord group, maybe I'll put the link in the description if anyone wants to join the Discord group, because it's an awesome place there. After I leave, and then this uploads to YouTube, and yeah. Anyway, so on the knitting group, one of the gals was like, "You can do it. You can learn to knit and learn to sew. Don't worry. Just go get a sewing machine and like just go get some yarn and some needles." And I did. I'm learning to knit, and sometimes you just need someone who you really respect to as you see kind of as like a sort of mentor sort of role. Or, no, you can do it. You can do it. It is so what you call it? It's so, it can just be very meaningful having someone tell you that they believe in you. And it's like I almost got like teary-eyed there. It's like, you believe in me? Oh my goodness. That's a lot of what I've been doing, like, is sort of going into a new frontier over the COVID situation. Like, for some reason, feeling shut in has made me look inward and then express things outwardly and embody things. I need to explore this more. Okay. So, Emmett, Easter plant editing video for my channel. Nice. Good for you, saying it out loud, so you'll actually do it. I'm really bad at doing things unless I like say it out loud. And even when I say out loud I'm going to do something, I still don't. That's why I tweeted out this morning, I'm going to do a live stream, because I wanted to sort of have like an accountability. Okay, tater tots. I tried to knit and I was unable to. My friend despaired to teach me and gave up. Oh, it wasn't for me. But I do have a lot of knitted items from them. Well, that's nice that your friend gave you knitted items. Because it is. You look at things, when you learn how to do things with your hands, whether it be like woodworking or crafting of some kind or whatever, when you see pieces, like after you've learned to do that thing, you look at it with a different perspective. You're like, oh, this took time and effort. And I see why people charge a ton for homemade things, because it takes time to put into that thing. So this is going to be a redo of my first project, but I have another project upstairs, a baby blanket that I'm making for my niece. And I have other, I think they're crocheted, but other blankets that someone made for my kids when they were babies. And I definitely look at them, those items, in a very different way, because I know now a little bit, since I've only been knitting for like maybe a month or so now. I definitely know how much work goes into such things. So, oh, hey, Skipper Aaron. I'm guessing that's you from Discord. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, I have my needles out. It's also so weird looking at, I'm so delayed in my little YouTube window. You guys, I'm just narrating everything. Oh my goodness. Like, such a noob. I'm like, oh, and then I'm doing this, and here's what's happening, and here's the play-by-play of all the things I'm thinking and doing. So, if anyone has any other questions that they want to ask, or topics that they want me to talk about, or topics that they want me to talk about in videos. Oh yeah, thank you to everyone who wrote me about my question about looking into the past. I had a lot of comments from there about like, what's the symbolic reason for, like, or any reason for me really just looking into my past and sort of, not necessarily my past, but the past of like embodying it through fashion and, yeah, I guess just fashion. But I had a lot of ideas, and it was really helpful and interesting for me to sort of be sorting through my thoughts and ideas about that. Let's see. Whoa, she knitted her wedding dress, Tater Tots? That's amazing. So she must be very, very good. Good job for her. Oh, you're able to cross stitch. Good for you. That's something. Anyway. Oh, hello. You're in Chile. Wait, so D.A. Silva? Hello. Hello in Chile. Hi. Are we in the same time zone? That's kind of funny that the time zones, people in South America are in like the same time zone as me. Anyway. Okay, bye, Aaron. Thanks for popping by. Takes guts to stream. Yeah, it takes total guts to be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe it just helps me to be working out my inner thoughts with an audience of 12. Oh, you guys, look. More people are coming. Hello, friends. So what's been, yeah, so I've been wanting to pay attention a little bit more to like, I guess you could say like the sacred calendar, like right now with Easter coming up. I've been participating in Lent, but like I've also been a little bit dismayed because I've been participating in Lent a little bit alone. I mean, I guess I'm doing it with my sister. We're both doing a couple of different things. My Lent has been not going to thrift stores, because I love going to thrift stores. And oh, someone likes my hat. Thank you. It is called a boater hat, and I've been looking for an excuse to wear it, and so this was it. This was my excuse to wear it. So thank you. Anyway. Oh, I guess is it a fedora? Okay, well, I think the fedora has like more of the indents here, whereas this is a little bit whatever. We don't have to get into the specifics of hattage. I don't know what you call it, but anyway. What's my gaming situation? Oh, okay. I am so all over the place. I need to not look at the comments for a minute. I'll finish my thought and then I'll go back to narrating things that are happening as they're happening. So what was I talking? Oh yeah, so I've been doing Lent and not going to the thrift stores because that's where I get all of my vintagey looking items, and I go every weekend. But I haven't been. I've been abstaining for Lent, And I will be going on Easter Sunday very excitedly. So in a couple of days, I'm excited to go back. And my sister's been doing something else, but she and a friend and I went out and went and kind of celebrated the last like the Mardi Gras type thing, the night before. So I did have a little bit of community there, but like so I don't want to make this like only about like the holy calendar and ostracize any atheist or agnostic friends out there. It's more, I'm thinking about community and participating within community and how COVID has sort of really separated us. And not just that, we kind of are so individualistic in our Western culture as well. And so I've been looking into the Orthodox tradition, and someone was telling me about how in the Orthodox tradition, for after the end of Lent, when Easter comes, it's like a big potluck and everyone brings items and you share in it together. And so I've been thinking a lot about the importance of community and not just doing something alone by yourself, like enduring these things as a sort of self-improvement, self-help thing, but doing it alongside people. Like, that's why I'm knitting. It's because of the community. Like that, like my husband's in a running group. Like that makes him do the things. But it's a little bit more meaningful when it's when you're doing it in the name of like a higher power, you could say. Like for me, that is like it's in the sacred space that I'm participating. Participatory knowing. If there's any Vervaeke people, I think that's the correct key of the 4 P's of knowing. If someone's here from Vervaeke's space, you can let me know if that's the proper use of participatory knowing. But I think that there's just a real meaningfulness in doing something together as a group that you can't find in doing something by yourself. And it's kind of special, and I want more of it. Like that's why I've been really addicted to like my Bridges of Meaning Discord group. And a little bit I've been going on the Symbolic World, which is Peugeot's group. I've been going on there a little bit too. So, and the Vervaeke server as well. Anyway, so yeah, I have been really interested in learning more about community, but this is online, like online communities. We were talking about this a little bit earlier about like, and I put out a video about like, is it real? Are online communities real? How real can they be? And I think they can be as real as to a point. Like, I think that there's a special thing about embodying something in the world. But, participatory is correct. Thank you, Nolan. So I think that, yes, yeah, you can, again, like it's very real. Me knitting is a very real embodied thing. And I'm doing this knitting through my online group of knitters, and we participate in that together. And it is a little sort of community situation going on, but it isn't in person, but at the same time I'm not really involved in my local community, and I feel like I should. Like I feel like there are things that I should do. And it's not just that, like I didn't say this on the group, but like when you go to church but you drive 20 or 25 minutes to get to the church, it's like that's not a local church. That's not participating in your local community. And I'm thinking about early man and the sort of Dunbar's number of like your little tribe, and how people, they would do ritual together, whatever the thing was that they worshiped. Like they would do ritual, they would do life together, and then they would go to the holy site together. Then they would go back to their lives, and they would be doing all these things and participate in all these things together as a community. And I think there's something, of course then you end up having in-group out-group, which is a whole nother thing. But regardless, in that community, there's something special, a special bond about small, close-knit communities. And I just think that, 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 I just think that I kind of want to do a practice what I'm preaching kind of thing. And again, I think I don't want to diminish the online communities because that's really helping me work through my thoughts. And I mean, this is what this is. Like, you people are here because I'm an online individual looking to cultivate community in my subscriber base, you know? So I don't want to diminish it, but I also think that there's something about doing it in person as well. So anyways, that was long. Yeah. So Steve B wrote, hello. He wrote, most people drive to our church. It'd be nice to see more walk-ins. So there is a community called Jerusalem, off of Jerusalem Road, close to where I live. And it's I guess the city named it knowing it's the Jewish community, and I see them on Shabbat because they're dressed up. I see them walking to the synagogue when I'm driving around Friday night. You know, as if I'm cruising around, just me and my lonesome driving around. No, I just in my goings in my life, I've seen them, and I think that's really cool to see the little Jewish community in my city, you know, like all walking together to Shabbat. That's neat. It's just kind of cool to see. So, okay, I think I'm going to go back to, I'll just look at what people are writing. My gaming situation. Oh, Shane, you asked me that. Wait, Emmett had a good question. Did I answer it? Oh, okay, whoops. Maybe I'll go back up there. Okay, so, okay, well, yes, okay, I'll get to you. I'll go. We'll go up to Emmett's amazing question in a second. So, but like with regard to your question about the gaming thing, Shane, okay, here's the thing. I spend so much time on Discord that my husband's like, hey, I'm gonna just go play Ghosts of Tsushima. It's a hard word to say. Ghosts of Tsushima. And I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe I'll come back and look in a minute, and then I just don't go. I am not as compelled to join in the story for Ghosts of Tsushima quite as much as I did for Witcher or God of War or even Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Like, even though that one is such a huge open world game, like, it was just too much. I couldn't get enough points to move on to the next levels. It was just too much. But anywho, I'm just not drawn into the story quite as much as I did with the other games. We need to find another game for me to participate in that I really like and buy into. So I think, Hubs and I need to discuss a different game that I didn't even make a video on God of War because I love it so much. So I think I've got to just, maybe I should just like ask to play that one again with him so that I can, you know, get back into it. And then I haven't made a Confessions of a Novice Gamer. And I have it named that. I name it Novice Gamer to show how much of a noob I am that I didn't even know the word noob for gaming speak. That's why I had it as Novice Gamer. Anywho, okay, so let's tackle Emmett's question. I think I'm gonna like wrap it up in the next 10 minutes, I think. Because I think I've been on for maybe close to an hour-ish. I think it actually says somewhere. Oh yeah, 47 minutes. Okay. Wow, time just flies. Oh, hey, Cass. Hi, Cassidy. The Information Addict is one of my friends, and I visited her and was on her podcast in person. So, yeah, watch her channel. It's good. Anywho, so, okay, so sorry. Okay, we need to go back to Emmett's a fantastic question. Okay. Why didn't the Eagles just, no, also I love that, Emmett, that you wrote in all caps a question. Why didn't the Eagles just fly to Mordor with the ring? The thing is, shameless plug. Sorry, yes, I did it. Well, it's not shameless for me, Cassidy. Like, I plugged your channel. It's not shameless for me. Anyway. So, the thing is, yes, they could have done that. But what if what if the eagles are a sort of, I know that they're not technically part of like the heavenly beings per se, of like the beginning when Iluvatar was singing his songs, and is it like the Valar? Is that right? The Valar? When the Valar are singing along with him. And Melkor kind of like, went off key and got other people to go off key, but then whatever. I know that the eagles aren't necessarily included, but what if we just consider the eagles to be these sort of heavenly, they're in the sky, they fly, they're sort of these heavenly beings. Like, why did God call Abraham? Okay, I'm just gonna change this to go back to, why did God tell Abraham to bring his son to sacrifice him at the top of the mountain, to then only be like, stop, there's a ram? Why didn't he just be like, hey, here's a ram that's stuck, and like just sacrifice, don't worry about your son? Like, I just think there's something about the journey. And maybe like that's a sticky subject with atheists. We're like, that's horrible, don't even use that example, so sorry if I transgressed. But there's something about the journey, and you're probably like, yeah, I know, the hero's journey, and like they had to do it themselves, like duh. But like seriously, why didn't the eagles just take the ring? Fine. Maybe there's just something about hobbits. Like maybe the eagles' hearts could be corrupted. I don't know. Like that's one explanation. Maybe the eagles would have used it to become this crazy, insane Galadriel-esque, and she goes all like, you shall have a queen, dark and beautiful as the sun, Maybe they would have gone all like, ultraviolet and like whatever. But that's kind of just being silly. It's like, for real, we have to have the journey to get to Mordor. And we have to see that we fail in that journey, and we need eagles to bail us out in the first place. That's what we need. And like, I'm tempted to be like, that's right. That's a little bit of wisdom. But like I've said in the beginning, sometimes I don't sound as profound when I listen back. So you can let me know if you thought that sounded profound or not. Anyway, the eagles are too big. They would have been, you're right. An arrow would have just like, down they go, and then the other side has it. The hobbits were under everyone's radar, so that's another good explanation too. Okay, hi Fluffy McDeath. Did you ever read the Binding of Isaac story to see who is listed as coming back from the mountain? No. Oh wait, this is a long name. I think therefore I am. Okay. That wasn't that long, sorry. I think therefore I am, or so I thought. That's funny. Sacrifice of self. Yes, exactly. Exactly. No, okay, Fluffy McDeath, do you want to just write it to me, or should I just look it up? Should I look up I'm so slow, and I can't do two things at once, so then it's just like dead air. So maybe I need to be okay with that. Okay. What do I even look up? Isaac. Yeah, maybe I'll look up Abraham. Isaac. Raising his son versus. Okay. Genesis 22. Okay, I'm going to look up Genesis 22. Sometimes I feel like looking up verses on my phone just doesn't have the same weight, It's like, oh, let me just like look it up on my phone. No. It just feels like it takes away a bit of the sacredness of the. But not just that. It's like it takes away something, like when you're reading something, a book on your phone, versus like, that's why I bought the discarded image. Like I ordered it off of Amazon because I wanted to have the actual book. I didn't want to just be reading it on my phone, Okay, so sometimes I'm a little bit nervous about getting too niche Christian-y on the channel, but like, you know, that's a big part of who I am. But also, like, what did you guys think of my Benjamin Boyce interview? Like, I was so surprised that he was willing to go there with me, actually, because I wanted to just have a little chat, like catch up time with him where I wasn't going to record it. But then I was like, oh, actually, you know what? Maybe I will record it. And I'm going to ask if he wants to talk about God. We'll see if he says yes. And he said yes. Like, I actually really didn't think he would want to talk about that with me, because he's been a little bit dodgy about wanting to talk about that with me before. So I'm recorded anyway. So okay, Genesis 22 verse 19. So yeah, I'm really happy that he was able to. Okay, so you guys can let me know. Some people are like, oh, looking forward to the next chat with you guys, or like the sequel or part 2. And I mean, I guess that's a way to say it. Like, oh, looking forward to when you guys chat again. But like, did I make it sound like I was going to talk with him like again soon? I mean, I kind of wanted it to be a bit of a yearly update kind of thing. I just end up talking with him once a year, and it's usually around March. So anyway, I just was kind of like, did I make it sound like I was going to talk with him again really soon? Because I don't remember. I don't remember that. So anyway, so Genesis 22 verse 19. Then Abraham returned to his servants, and they set off together for Beersheba. And Abraham stayed in Beersheba. So, where's Isaac, though? Is that kind of the point, Fluffy McDeath? Like, why doesn't it talk about the two of them returning down? Is that the concern? Exactly. Okay, so what are you saying, that like, no, there was no, sorry, it was actually, he did sacrifice him. Sorry, guys. The Isaac referred to later isn't the real thing. I mean, these are such ancient stories that I don't know that we want to be looking literally, but like symbolically. Oh, you think there was a happy ending? Really? But who is Isaac then later, when it talks about that's who has, like, you know, the from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Like, is the whole line of Abraham a lie? Is that what we're talking about? Did he just have another kid and name him Adam? Is that the point? I mean, you could say that, like, you know, Abraham returning, it could be like, maybe it's focused on Abraham returning because he returned a different man than when he went up. So maybe the focus isn't actually on Isaac at all. It's maybe they're referring to Abraham specifically because that's who the point of this exercise is focusing on. So I'm just kind of trying to have like a more symbolic look rather than literal look. But Isaac was Ishmael. Okay, now this is just getting okay. Now we're not gonna get too into this. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. I'll look into that. But anywho, so what else? What else do we have? What else do we have going, guys? Yeah, no, yeah. Searching for a verse on your phone is equivalent to the eagles carrying the ring to Mordor. That's right. Anywho. Okay, this is getting, okay, Fluffy McDeath, like, there's, like, the name thing, it's just getting a little bit too, it's, Yeah, I think it's a little bit. Yeah, he was gonna walk a little bit. Nolan's right. He's like, I'm gonna walk a bit behind. I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna return with you right away, because you know, you did just try to kill me. If they edited why wouldn't they notice the last verse? Like, why wouldn't they also edit that too? Like, they're not dummies. Like, they must have put that purposely. So I'm thinking it's just more of a focus on Abraham. But whatever, we're not here. I'm not here to argue. I just said I don't like arguing. So we'll just move on. So, yeah, I have stuff for my kid. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Easter plans. I was a good mom, and I went out and got stuff for my kids for their Easter baskets, and I found some little stuffed Avengers characters. And I'm really excited to give those to them because we've been going through the Marvel universe, starting with the first Captain America and going through like chronological order. And yes, I did watch WandaVision. Oh my goodness, I love it so much. I mean, come on, like the old timiness of it in the first place, like, of course I loved it, right, guys? But I liked the story. Like, it was a really like, it was so heartbreaking. Like, I mean, especially those. Oh man, you guys, I just cry. I'm gonna totally start crying on this live stream if I go into it too much. But like when she's talking about, no, when Agatha Harkness like really like makes her relive those flipping horribly traumatic memories that would have been the worst thing for someone who's grieving, to like make them not walk them through, but like make them go through and relive all of their worst traumatic memories. It's just, that was hard in the first place to watch. But as we're looking through all the people she's lost and all of the heartache and heartbreak that she's had and loss that she's had in her life, she's made this fake happy, sweet, non-real existence because she has godlike powers and she can, and in her grief she just accidentally did this thing. And it's like, it's heartbreaking to watch her go through each episode. And there's something to it, making these episodes come out one by one per week instead of just binging it. Like, you kind of live in that like happy, like go lucky, like, but then you see the sort of sad undertones of like, this is not what it looks like. This is something deeply, deeply sad. Oh my gosh, why am I going through it? I'm just gonna be like, this is so sad, and like start crying. But like, she like, she's lost, she's has fictitious children. Like, she has her husband back, but like, it's not real. Oh, this is going back to, this is like, what is real? Like, this is, she's creating a fiction to deal with her grief, to put it off. So she doesn't actually have to deal with the fact that she's lost the one thing that she had left in this world, and letting it go. Like, watching that final, I'm sorry, spoilers, guys, like, my bad, sorry. Watching that final episode of her and Vision just like saying goodbye and just like letting go, like, that was so like, that was so hard. Like, and I've had a lot of loss. Like, I've lost both of my parents, and I lost my grandma like recently, last year, actually last March, I lost her as well. So, and she was the last of my grandparents that I had left. So yeah, it really just, it struck a chord very deeply inside of me. And a lot of this is what I'm seeing with the Marvel universe, is that like, these heroes, like, these are our myths. And we learn in their heroes' journeys, and what they did with WandaVision was, I think, very deep and very profound. And I was very impressed with the way that they fleshed out like this depth in this one character that we didn't actually get to see much depth from in the past. So I thought that was anyway. So let's see. So Emmett writes, I wonder if Wanda is sympathetic to Thanos since she understands how good intentions can lead one down a dark path. Rather, would Wanda be sympathetic to Thanos now? You know, I think that you can see where it diverges though, because she put it back. She might be like, okay, I see why, but I'm not going to go down the path you went in altering reality to what I think it should be. So I don't know if I would say sympathetic, but maybe like she could comprehend and maybe even understand, but I don't think she would like sympathize, because that's almost like being like, yeah, I guess it depends on your definition of sympathy, but anyway, so I went really, really into WandaVision. Sorry for those of you who haven't seen it and like that I totally ruined it for, but like it's really, really good. It's even if you haven't seen the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like it's a really interesting look at grief. And if one has godlike powers, like what could happen and what you would do, and it's a very human story, because in the end it's like we all can see where she's coming from if we've lost anyone, and if not now, someday you will, you know. So yeah. So yeah. I also love the different eras of television that they went through. I thought that was like brilliant how they did that. So yeah, I guess in conclusion, Happy Easter. Happy Good Friday. I always wondered, why was it called Good Friday? Because it's like sad that Jesus died, you know? But like, I guess in the end, it was for all of our goods. Yeah. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna probably end this because I'm kind of just rambling, and I again have no idea what I'm doing. So do you guys yeah, if there's any pressing, did you like this? Like, if you don't leave a comment here, you can maybe leave a comment on this once it's up later. I have monetization off? Dang. Did anyone want to give me a super chat? Shoot. Oh, I've got to friggin' work on learning what to flipping write. Shoot. Or adjust for future whatever. Anywho, so I guess I'll see you guys. If you like this, let me know. Leave a comment later, or leave a comment here saying like, yeah, do the live stream again. It was good. Oh, Guy A, you are doing fine. Thank you. Makes me feel good. Happy Easter. Yeah, happy Easter, Steve B. And a somewhat happy Good Friday, because like it's solemn, you know, guys. Okay, I guess I'll go now. It's an hour and 7, so I'm over the hour mark, and I'm losing people. So, because I keep saying I'm gonna hang up, and then I don't. So I think it'll be a good space to end there. Yeah. Have a good weekend, everybody. And oh no, you're fine. Fluffy McDeath says sorry I was late. No, like I'm happy for anyone to join ever. So I'll try to do this. It was a pretty good Friday. Thanks, Shane. It was a pretty good Friday. So I'll try to do these once a month, and maybe give like, I don't know how much warning to give, because like giving it too much time in advance, people will be like, oh, I forgot. So I think maybe I'll say it that day or the day before, and I'll try to do it like around this time, like 5 o'clock Mountain Time, 4 o'clock Pacific. So 5, 6, 7 Eastern. So yeah. So you guys have a good one. Have a good yeah. a good everything. Yeah. Happy Easter. Bye.